heard it, America, and you got it. The hottest over-the-road cooking show on YouTube.
Semi-living, cooking on down the line. Semi-living, saving money and cooking time. Linda Lou's got the looks, while Paul he eats the cuss. Right to the belly where true romance starts. Hey, we'll squeeze the buffalo till he farts. Semi-living,
It's the tastiest show on the internet.
semi-living,
Linda Lou and Paul.
semi-living, semi-living.
Hi, y'all.
Hi, y'all. Truck driver Linda.
Truck driver Paul. Sitting in the back this time.
Y'all put away all your cooking stuff, because Tony stole our recipe.
That boy.
Our son, we were talking on the phone, and he was asking me what video I was going to do, so I told him. He's like, can I have it? So what we were going to do is something he'll do in the next 2 weeks instead. We still needed to get a video out, and our Scary February video was pretty cool. So we thought we could do a couple more truck stories, only these aren't scary. Make some popcorn. Beverage of your choice. I've got coffee. Paul's got tea.
And I got tea.
We're gonna do 3 totally true, but not scary truck driving stories. So I'm gonna start with a slow speed police chase. We have seen our fair share of high-speed chases. Lord knows we've seen them. Yeah. I can't say that we've ever seen a slow speed, but we've been involved in a slow speed chase. So a couple years ago, I want to say maybe 2016, the Florida Everglades were on fire. So if anybody remembers when they were on fire, that's when this happened. We hadn't been listening to the news, so we were totally unaware of the fact that the Everglades were on fire. It's late at night. I want to say it's around maybe 10 o'clock at night. Paul's sleeping, I'm driving. And I come up to this stop sign, and as I'm getting closer and closer, I knew something was on fire because all the smoke in the air and your throat's burning from it. My eyes were kind of burning from it. I get up to this stop sign. I'm out on US 41, and I'm cutting through the Everglades to get down to Miami. And I get up to the stop sign, and there's like fire trucks everywhere, and they're blocking the road ahead. Had no idea why. Nobody's telling me anything. Nobody's telling me where to go. I don't know where I am. I'm in the middle of the road, and I'm like, well, where do I go? They're like, well, you got an alternate route. You got to find an alternate route. Okay, I could go back over 100 miles, which I wasn't going to do, or go to my left. So I hang a left, and I think I'm going up, I don't know. I don't know what Florida road it was. But I don't think it was a truck route. So I'm going up the road, and I'm going slow, because of course the GPS is trying to turn me around, because saying I'm going the wrong way. This cop comes up behind me, flips on his lights. I'm like, where do I go, right? So I'm doing about 5 miles an hour, going up this road. So I'm going really slow, but I got this much shoulder, and that's it, right? There's nowhere to go. I mean, he's pulling me over in Florida, in the Everglades, that's on fire with no place to pull off the road. There's no shoulder, there's no place to go. So I'm like going along 5 miles an hour. I hit my flashers to let him know I know he's there, but there's no place for me to pull over. So, and I'm thinking at the time, if I stop in the road, he's going to give me a ticket for illegal parking or something stupid, right? So I didn't know if he's trying to give me a ticket or help me on where to go. I didn't know. So I just kept going along at like 5 miles an hour. Paul's sleeping through all of this, right? So I'm going along. 20 minutes later, at 5 miles an hour, still no place to pull over. And I'm telling you, there is no place to go. He finally gave up. I think he finally just ran out of patience and was like, forget it, this girl will do what she's going to do. Came on around me, took off, was like, forget it, whatever. I would say about another 5 miles up the road, I ended up hitting Interstate 75, which is a toll road, and that's why we were going down. 41 was to kind of maybe stay off the toll road, but If I'd known about the fire, because if I'd been listening to the news, I'd have taken the toll road anyway, so that's my slow speed chase. Through the Florida Everglades that were on fire. That's the first story. Next story is Paul's.
I'm going to jump to a date real quick because that's in my head. I had to look it up. September 19th, 2012. I was going down Interstate 10 heading east, and I was in the Tucson, Arizona area, and I'm doing about 65, going down the road, just minding my own business, and all of a sudden this traffic starts stopping in front of me. I could see brake lights everywhere. People are slamming on their brakes, jumping out of their cars, going to the back seat, grabbing their cameras, or going to their trunks and grabbing their cameras, and they're all facing to the right. I get the truck stopped, and I'm looking at all these people wondering what's going on. The space shuttle Endeavour was being piggybacked by a modified Boeing 747. It was just coming up, so it must have been either taken off or flying very low. So everybody's stopping in the middle of the road, including the westbound side. They were all being stopped just so that they can get pictures of this shuttle. I woke Linda up and tried to get her to get a picture of it real quick.
I tried. Unfortunately, we didn't get a good picture.
No.
I tried, because I was doing like this, I'm like half asleep, grabbed the camera, got it turned on, and I'm trying to do like this piggyback, like contortionist thing up in the windshield to get it, because even hanging out the window you couldn't get it, because by then it was already coming up over the truck. So we didn't really get a good shot of it.
No, we didn't.
This was back when NASA was retiring all of its shuttles.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it was a pretty cool sight.
So I guess it's going to be her turn.
Third story. And it's me, so it's late at night. I'm in Texas. I'm on I-10. If anybody can look at a map, I'm out in Reed County, Texas. I'm near Toya. And if you've ever been there, there's nothing there. And I'm not kidding. It's like miles and miles and miles of empty Texas. I want to say it's about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch black. And it's just me. There's no traffic in either direction except me. This is a very, very desolate part of Texas, down on I-10. It's down near the border, so there's no traffic out there. There's no city lights. There's not much out there at all. And something is like moving out my passenger window, and it catches my attention. And it's kind of like passenger window. It's like way up in the corner. I'll have to get a shot. It's like, let me, hold on. Okay. So it would be like, I was seeing it kind of in this corner of the thing. That's our record player setup. We're listening to Grandpa Jones, by the way. Okay, so that's kind of where I could see movement. So I'm kind of leaning forward over the steering wheel, and I'm looking up, and it's like an airplane. But I couldn't see the whole plane, so I don't know what kind of plane it was. The front of it did not, that I could see, did not have the propellers on the nose. Maybe they were there, but it was dark, and they were going, and I couldn't see them. But this airplane is kind of coming down, and it's actually doing like a nosedive off the side of the road, and it's just right in front of me where I'm seeing it coming like straight down into a nosedive. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, this plane is gonna like crash and explode and we're gonna take us with it. I stopped on the interstate because I thought this plane was gonna crash. And I'm watching it, my mouth is hanging open, and I'm like, right in the middle of nowhere, thinking this plane is just out there gonna crash. And there's like this, right ahead of us, there's like this huge ravine that went like underneath, almost like a wash, that went underneath the interstate and all that. So there's a little bridge that goes over it, and this plane is coming down, like going down to that ravine, and just as it gets down in there, it pulls and goes straight up, and then shoots straight back up in the air. I was like, oh my God. That plane freaked me out. So at first, my first thought was what is that, a UFO? You know, middle of the night, middle of nowhere. You hear the stories, y'all know. And then when I realized it's an airplane, I'm like, oh, cool. Except not cool in a good way. You're like, oh. And then you notice it's doing this nosedive, so I don't know if it was like somebody just freaking out the truck driver in the middle of the night. It was very strange. I don't know if it was a drug runner. But I was just like, I just want to get away from this plane. What was our third story? All right, y'all. I'm about to put the beat down on him because he's eating all the popcorn. He just got himself out of trouble and he knows it.
I'll eat more.
Alright, well, y'all let us know if you like these stories or not. We feel like it's kind of a cool way to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
When somebody steals our recipe.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.